Hello, I'm Nige.
I'm Anders. I forgot who I was for a second there, but it's all coming back to me now. Welcome to the Beer Kit Review. Not one of my turns here, so Nige, tell us what we're doing.
It's part of the Simply range from Richie's, which is the Simply Bitter, uh,
Hmm.
which it says what it says on the packet. And you get a 1.8 kilo bag of liquid malt, which you add a
Okay.
kilo of brewing sugar or your fermentable of choice.
Hmm.
And the yeast is stuck at the bottom of the pouch.
Okay.
Uh, that's simple to brew. I think it took, let's have a look at my notes. 22, 9, 8 days start to finish in the fermenter.
Okay.
Came out at 4.5%, including the priming sugar. Uh,
Sorry, did the priming sugar come with the kit, or was
no,
that
no, you've got to add
got
that.
provided
So a
yourself?
little bit
Right.
of
Okay.
sugar. I cold crashed it for a couple of days, then bottled it. But anyway, it's only been in the bottle 2 weeks. Uh,
Yeah, I know. It's a stunningly short amount of time.
and I had a bottle after about 9 days, and I thought, oh, this is not bad. Then I had a few more watching the rugby at the weekend. I thought, well, this is really good.
Well,
Well, really good. I yes. Well, we'll find out.
we'll see. Yeah, it's my call, let's face it. Well,
Yes.
I tell you what we're going to do. I'm going
Beer
to get
cam on.
beer cam up and running. And there we have it. Beer cam is on.
Now these kits are cheap, but they're cheap in cost, but not in quality. Am I
Okay.
right in saying that? I think it's the same people that make festival beers.
I think you did say that. Yeah.
I think that I'm yeah, I might be wrong. Managed to pour almost all of it out. Cold crashing it does cut down on the sediment you get in your pour.
Okay. So there we go. That's a nice color.
Quite a light copper color
Yes, it is.
or amber copper.
Um, a little bit ahead, not a lot. Now that smells like a proper chewy toffee bitter.
It does. Anyway, should we just get straight in?
Let's not. Come on, chin chin.
Cheers. What you thinking, Anders?
That's nice. Right. Um, I'm getting a bit of homebrew at the end, but
There is a
s-
little bit.
the
Uh,
start,
it-
the start is exceptional.
yeah,
It's what you want from a bitter. It again, it's not overly carbonated like a
yeah.
bitter should be. Um, and hang on. Yeah, light, quite light,
Yes.
and caramelly, I would say. Do you agree?
Sorry.
Caramelly?
Yeah, it's not ghosting's too strong a term for it. It's stronger than ghosting. It's there. It's just you're aware of it.
Yeah,
It's got quite a nice level of bitterness, which I quite like. It's got a bit of the
which is
bite.
what you want from bitter, let's face it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, very light and easy drinking.
It really is. I mean,
Now, it's not perfection for a best bitter for me yet, but it's on the way. I'd actually like to take this kit and next, if I did this again, I'd pimp it up a little. I
input.
think.
Yeah, sure. Um, I know because you've been searching for a long time for the perfect bitter kit, haven't you?
I have, yes. And
It's kind of been your Valhalla.
yeah, it might be worth leaving this a bit longer, but I've been enjoying it already. So
Well, 9 days is very young, isn't it?
no, that's when I tried the first one.
Oh, of course, sorry, beg your pardon. 2 weeks now, you said, isn't
We're
it?
up to about 15 or 16 days now, day
Yeah.
16 or
So
17, something like that. So
yeah,
it's,
I think some more time would do it the world of good. But
well, possibly,
I
possibly.
I think
It's
at the moment
not changed much in the last week.
that I'm wondering if we're going to do nip out and do a second half of this vid because I could finish this in 2 seconds.
Yeah, should we savor it a little bit more, all the way down the glass,
Mhm. All right.
and then we'll chat, talk rubbish more at the end.
Yes. Okay, we'll do that. Yeah, that could have been nasty and a misunderstanding. I just told Nice that was going down like water. Um, and I meant purely because it's just so drinkable and so light and
It's
yeah.
okay. It's not the perfect bitter for me, but if I was to make this kit again, I wouldn't use a kilo of brewing sugar. I'd use half a kilo of brewing sugar and a half a
Okay.
kilo of spray malt. I think that just up the body
Okay, for
a little.
those that don't know, spray malt. Explain.
It's just a dried malt.
Hmm.
So instead of the liquid malt, it's dusty, and
Okay.
so it dissolves and
Yeah.
becomes uh, the.
And
I'd,
you'd
I'd,
add,
I'd do that. So that's half a kilo of spray malt, half a
yeah,
kilo of uh, brewing sugar.
yeah,
I would then also uh, dry hop it with some Fuggles. I might put 50 grams of Fuggles hops in for a couple of days before bottling. But I'd tea bag the dry hops. So you take the dry hops in a bowl, sterilized bowl, and you pour
yeah,
boiling water into it. And that actually releases a little bit more bitterness. But Fuggles isn't that a huge bittering hop, but it would release a lot more of the flavor. And you chuck that
yeah,
in, leave it a couple of days, and then bottle it. And but you got to cold crash that because you get all these little bits of. I cold crash it and all the hops
yeah, yeah, yeah,
drop to
yeah,
the bottom.
yeah. Um,
Say cold crash, I put it in a fridge. I've got a brewing fridge and I put the whole barrel, the whole fermenter into the fridge for 48 hours.
a whole other level. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
it's just made brewing a joy having that little fridge.
yeah. Um, yes, I really like this. Like you say, it's not perfect, but I think if you pimped it with that was a question I was going to ask you because there obviously are hops in this.
I have no idea what they are. They're
No idea what
probably, I I guess I'd say that's either Challenger, East Kent Goldings, and Fuggles, or something around.
yeah.
They're the traditional hops you use in best bitters.
Hmm. Oh dear.
But they've got another one in their range, another bitter that they've got simply Yorkshire bitter. I don't actually know what the difference between bitter and Yorkshire bitter is.
Oh, Yorkshire people are a lot more bitter. Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I love.
Yeah, comments below. Aim at Anders, not me.
Oh, at
Said
me.
it.
It was a cheap shot. Of course, I don't mean that. Um, um, I almost said I'm from Yorkshire. I can make that joke, but I'm not. I'm digging myself into a hole. I'll shut up.
Yes.
Um, yeah, this is. I don't know what the difference is, to be honest with you. There's a
Well,
Geordie bitter as well, isn't there?
yes, there is.
I don't know what the difference is there.
And there's a Scottish bitter, and there's, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the Scottish are better.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Any
can
more of our
feel.
audience you'd like to alienate, Anders?
Yeah, well, let's talk about the Geordies. And, yeah, I only jest. I don't know. They're just cheap jokes. That's all I do. Um, and yeah,
So to sum up, I would get this one again. Out of the bitters I've had, I mean, it's so cheap. The Simply range, it's about 11, 12 quid.
yeah, that is good price, isn't it?
Uh,
And you're getting how many 30 odd bottles out of it?
40, it's 40 pints.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, and I definitely, I, with that price, you can pimp it up and you're still coming under 20 quid for
yeah,
your,
yeah.
what was that, about 3 quid for 100 grams of Fuggles. Uh, £5 or £6 for, I don't know, for your spray malt and brewing sugar. £5 or £6 for both. I don't
Yeah,
know, something like that. So you're still coming under, it's about the £20 range then. But you'd have
yeah.
a much finer beer, right? I think.
I I await your next
But,
attempt.
but, when you're watching telly, you're not focusing on the beer as much. And it was very functional and it did its job. I was having a pint per half on Super Saturday watching the rugby, and it got me through the day.
Yeah,
And I thoroughly
I was.
enjoyed it. And you're not noticing that it's what you want from a best bitter.
Yes, it is. It's honestly, it does have that. There is something, and oh, there's stuff I have to talk to you about later on, but off camera. But honestly, there is.
Ooh.
Um, Nige and I have often talked about the fact that uh, Brewdog changed everything with Punk IPA.
Yes,
They've made it shit now, as they have done with most of their beers,
yes.
but they changed everything, and we went on this journey with beautiful um, pine, lemony, fragrant
I
beers.
think my beer journey had started just before that,
Yeah,
but it was going like that. Then I tasted Punk IPA,
yeah.
went like that. I went,
And it takes you in a completely, it takes you to the New England IPAs. It takes you to those
the world
fresh.
of, I thought I couldn't believe beer could
I
taste like
believe
that.
it. Yeah.
Anyway, the point
Coming
is, Adam,
back. Yeah. The thing is that you lose sight of the things that you used to drink, like Hardy's Best Bitter, um,
yes, yeah, yeah.
Wadworth's, um, Bass, those sort of drinks. Bass, which you can still get, and it tastes proper bitter, and it's lovely.
Oh, sorry, I went into a pub with a friend up
Yeah.
in Malvern. There's a little pub called the Railway. I
Yeah.
think it's the no, it's not the Railway. It's the Morgan. It's near the railway station. It's the
Right.
Morgan, and it's a Wye Valley Brewery pub. So it's just had lovely
Oh,
beers, and HPA, which is nice. But I quite like their best bitter because I like best bitters.
we lost sight of it. Yeah.
And anyway, and when it's a bit weaker than the HPA, and so you can have a few, and it was just me and my mate, we're talking rubbish all night.
Yeah.
And anyway, there was a young girl serving behind the bar. I said, "Oh, can I have a pint of your best bitter, please?" And she's pouring it away. And I thought, "Does anyone else actually call it best bitter?" And she said, "No." Oh,
Oh, that's
my
funny.
God, I felt so old.
Yeah. But there we are. Yeah, but the moral is that we have kind of gone on this journey, but then you look at where you came from and you look at your best bitters that you had in the first place. And oh, it's that a good bitter is hard to beat. A good, warm, slightly flat
No,
beer.
not warm. I mean, that's the misconception because I think a good bitter, it's about 10, 12 degrees. You should be, which isn't. warm. It's
Well, no, it's not warm, but it's warmer than your IPAs that you would have had if
yes,
you hadn't the
yes,
right thing.
yes,
You know,
yes.
and so yes, you can sort of look at it like that as being a derogatory, warm, flat drink.
But you can drink it chilled.
But you
This
can drink
I've
it.
drank this chilled. I've drank it. This
That time we went to the Dancing Moose and we had chilled Jurassic.
yes.
What was it?
Was it
It's a
Jurassic
local.
Dark? Or
Sorry,
was it the Jurassic Dark or their best?
I think it was their best. I can't remember what it's called now.
I don't know, but I mean, the dancing move, it doesn't exist now. It's gone under the,
Yeah,
but it was a bit pricey. And so we usually popped in there just for one pint
yeah.
and went, but we stayed in there for the rest of the night because the beer
We
was,
stood there because
it's,
their best, the Jurassic best was slightly chilled, and it was magnificent for it.
yeah, yes,
So, and again, I say chilled, not chilled, just slightly colder than you would normally have it.
yeah, it hit the mark. And to be honest, if that's chilled a little bit, that after that homebrewy twang that you get right at the very end, it's not overpowering. You start not noticing as you go down the glass.
Yeah,
Actually, is much lower down in the mix.
yeah.
Anyway,
Hey, see,
for me,
what's happened is what
yes,
has happened is that we have had a drink that we were going to finish off very quickly,
yes,
and then we've gone off piste and talked a little bit
I
too
know,
much, I think.
I know, but it's just it's
It
I
was
love
nice.
best bitters.
Yeah,
It's flowing.
it is. It's flowing. It is. Um, so yes, let's end it here because we've got both too excited. Both need to calm down a little bit.
Yes,
Um, we'll see you next time for another episode of whatever it is we're doing.
beer kit review.
Beer kit review. That's it. Thank you. Yeah. See you. Bye.
Goodbye.